Good evening and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this evening. I know that I am. Um, I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video on the algorithm. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do hit the subscription button and definitely share the video. I'm seeing that still slightly more people that are not subscribed is looking at the video. So hit the subscription button and hit the notification button, okay? I wanted to do a little short video. I was sitting here and I was like, I was looking at some stuff and I had kind of been paying attention to some stuff, as it relates to some of the rappers in Memphis. Okay, of course, I pay close attention to it and I've always been very vocal. But lately, just lately, I've kind of, I think God has been giving me another approach. And then, too, I've been kind of drained lately, because normally I get on and I'll fuss and I'll talk my stuff. But I think God has just been giving me another approach as it relates to what is going on in Memphis. You all know that I was born and raised in Memphis and still live on the outskirts of Memphis, even now in Memphis every single day. My businesses are in Memphis. And so I truly care about what goes on around the Memphis area, right? And I I was looking at the situation with I had been receiving some emails, of course, and I and my and messages on social media, and people have been telling me to watch this Little Migos and CEO Jizzle's um, situation extremely closely because they were saying that there have been subliminals going back and forth between them, but not just between them, like others, like people have been throwing out subliminals at Kenny Money and things of that nature. We know that there was a altercation. I think it basically, if we're going to be honest, it all started with Young Dolph, right? And we know that Young Dolph was senselessly gunned down and he lost his life back in 2021. And there has been, we see the people that are arrested. And I think as time goes on, whether somebody was involved or not, if somebody's people was involved, you know, if somebody, people was involved, like, the people that straight drop and all of them are connected to, or even if there was people trolling Young Dolph, the people that ride with Young Dolph feels a certain way. And it don't stop there. It seems like that there just has been, with all of the killing and stuff in Memphis, we know that these are little cliques and little gangs and stuff. And so it brought me to, and I'm pretty hard on the OGs because I know a lot of these little dudes look up to the OGs, right? And I'm gonna get back to Lil Migos and CEO Jizzle in a few minutes because I have a concern definitely about that situation, right? A very deep concern. Um, but it brought me to will the OGs in Memphis step in to stop this deadly war that is brewing? Because we know that a lot of, I guess, the quote unquote big dogs that a lot of these little dudes look up to, they listen to them. They'll listen to them even if they're not listening to sometimes their mother, because oftentimes it is a single parent home. And so they kind of look up to the OGs because their fathers are not around. That's the reason why I say, whether these OGs know it or not, they have a really big responsibility. Even if they don't listen to you, they have a responsibility to at least say, well, listen, I tried to tell the dude what was right, instead of dangling money in their faces to go out and commit hits and things of that nature. I stay hard on a lot of these OGs, whether they are in Memphis or not, because I think that it is a shame before God what is actually going on as it relates to this. I never thought that I would see the elders. OG is just another name for elder. And the Bible speaks about how elders are supposed to be reverenced because of their wisdom, which means they are supposed to be guiding them right, which is why God whooping a lot of these OGs ass cat raggedy, dragging them They looking like damn fools, croaking out and everything else, because they are not doing what they are supposed to be doing as it relates to a lot of these young dudes. They actually instigate and egg them on to go out and self-destruct. Okay. That's exactly what they're doing, because a lot of them just ain't shit, right? So that's the reason why I stay on their heads. Okay. That's the reason why I stay on their heads. But, will the OGs in Memphis stop the deadly war that is brewing? Everybody is looking at, what is happening, the subliminals that's going on. We saw somebody had sent me a picture of Little Migos, in, I believe they say he was in North Memphis or something, and he was out there with the little young dudes. And I promise you, they all, it might have been a video. They all look like they were from their late teens, mid to late teens to early 20. None of them looked like they were over 23, right? And they had big machinery, big guns, and things of that nature. And he was right in the midst of that. Now, Little Migos, I'm not as hard on Little Migos as I could be, because I still consider Little Migos to be a child. Okay. He is definitely a child up under me, because I have children that is his age, right? Which means his mother and I are probably around the same age. And I think that it is a shame, because the people that kind of surround Little Migos, other than the ones that's his age, but he still got elders that is around him. And I can't understand why they are not trying to guide Little Migos in the right direction, right? I know folks get mad when his name ain't Little Migos, it's Little Migos. Damn you, I say what I want to say, okay? So don't even put that in my chat. Kiss my ass. I call him Little Migos because that's how it comes off of my tongue, and that's how I want to say it, okay? I know it's Lil Migos or whatever. I don't talk like that, okay? And so we see this war that's going on with CEO Jizzle and Little Migos. Now, I know they said, there was some stuff on Instagram. We all kind of saw that, well, where Little Migos chain and stuff was taken and things of that nature. And I'm not saying that I agree with that, because I don't agree with violence at all. But one thing that I did notice, okay, is that Little Migos is still alive. CEO Jizzle and them, I don't know how they got that chain, but if he was in a compromising position where he was forced to give his jewelry, because see, I don't know what happened with that, because Little Migos didn't go file any police reports, right? Because see, I'm a law person, okay? He didn't go file any police reports, so I mean, you know, anyways, I'm gonna get back to that in a few minutes, okay? So, but what I did notice is that Lil Migos is still alive. Little Migos is alive. Um, they didn't, he's not dead, which means if they had him in a position where, because we see now how a lot of these dudes are very animalistic. Look at how they did Young Dolph, right? That was very animalistic, inhumane, and evil on a whole nother level. So evidently, whoever it was, if it happened the way, and there have been a lot of rumors of how that happened. They say they put guns on him and this, and that. Evidently, these people had some kind of regards for life. And I'm not saying what they did was right. Please don't take that I'm saying that, because I just don't agree with violence at all, right? But he is not dead. Okay. And so it bothers me, especially when a lot of these OGs make people like Little Migos and the CEO Jizzle and all of them feel like that violence is the way. Now, if CEO Jizzle if nobody gave him Little Migos' jewelry and he was the one that took the jewelry or whatever, I'm not saying that it's right. But what I'm saying is CEO Jizzle didn't kill him, because in order for somebody to take your jewelry, they probably had weapons, right? More than likely, they would have had weapons. So What I'm saying is they did not fire those weapons. And so if nothing was done, if there was no blows exchanged, I'm talking about as far as fighting, Little Migos didn't go to the police, then that just need, if you don't feel like you need to go to the police about it, that needs to be dropped, right? And I feel like that's what the OGs should be telling these young dudes, because I'm gonna tell y'all something what's happening. They're setting these dudes up to get ready to do life. Little Migos could have a bright future in front of him, right? Because that situation that happened with Grove Hero, and even the situation that happened with um, CEO Jizzle. Okay, ain't nobody gonna remember that in a couple years. But I tell you what will happen, what is going to happen is that if anything happens to CEO Jizzle, if anything happens to Kenny Money, and the FBI is watching this stuff just like we are watching it, and I can promise you that I could put everything that I own on that. Little Migos is not going to have a future, okay? And it's because he's not going to have a future, because he's going to be sitting in federal prison. Because at this point, what the feds is doing is they are definitely trying to drain the swamp. That means wherever the money source is coming from, they're going directly after that. And in a Little Migos circle, he would probably be the money source, right? We're not going to talk about Black Youngster, because Black Youngster has his own stuff to attend to, and that situation, we already know how that situation is going to end, okay? But Little Migos and Black Youngster is in his 30s. So Black Youngster, whatever goes on with Black Youngster, he brought that on himself. He was old enough to know better. He put that negative energy into the atmosphere, okay? And God is going to come passing through, as my mother always says, okay? Because you have to reap what you sow. But you have somebody like Little Migos. I hope he ain't no, step out here, okay? That that's young, that has a future, that could have a future. And so he's about what, 22, 23 years old. The OGs are supposed to be stepping in instead of telling him we got to get our lick back. Because I promise you, you all, if you're telling them anything else, you all are helping to put the nail in his coffin, because he's not going to get away with it. Okay. He's not going to get away with it. I see CEO Jizzle, and I'm not saying that I agree with everything what CEO Jizzle does, okay? But I see what CEO Jizzle does. He put it on wax, okay? I don't know CEO Jizzle, okay? But I see that he put stuff in a song, and most rappers do that. Young Dolph put his music in a song. I can't understand where a lot of these OGs feel like that it's okay for these little dudes to go and knock somebody off just because they say something that they don't want them to say, and they're going to pay for this, right? They're going to pay for this with their life. Okay, one way or the other. You're talking about retaliatory situations, or the feds are going to take them in for the rest of their lives. And so what is the resolve? Right? If they're continuously allowing this to go on, and you got the elders, aka OGs, out there that's telling them, yeah, you should do it. It's a darn shame when you get to be in your 40s and 50s and stuff like that, and you ain't righteous, right? And I feel like that's the reason why so many people are croaking over at an early age, because as in their 40s and stuff, right? Late 30s and 40s, they just croaking over, heart attacks, strokes, and things of that nature, because they ain't righteous. Oh, I'm an OG. I'm gonna send little bro out to go knock this person off, ruining people's children's lives, because it takes a special kind of twisted person, right, to go and just take somebody out because somebody tell them, I don't give a damn about no damn gang politics. That's not law. First of all, it's illegal. And even when people were joining gangs and things of that nature, a lot of these OGs, they come from an era where they know that we didn't do this. They did all they could in our era to really try to protect the young dudes. It's just within some, maybe some years back, they just started getting selfish and sadistic, maybe because their brain fried, all these new drugs and stuff, because crack didn't do these folks like they doing them now. A lot of what people are doing now, even in the crack era, they didn't do that. You didn't see folks going killing people because they was on crack. All a crackhead did was, all you had to do was sleep with your damn wallet in your panties. Okay. That's about all with a crackhead, because they was gonna steal everything that you had to try to go get them a rock. Okay. But and they was not going to, they was coherent. You didn't have to worry about them with the kids, other than they might be asleep and not watching them. But now you have so many people. First of all, a lot of these OGs ain't on this new stuff. It's these younger kids that's on this stuff that's got their brains fried. And unfortunately, instead of the OGs trying to tell them what's right, they're actually taking advantage of them being stoned out of their minds to go and do things that they are going to regret when they sitting in jail detoxing. Okay, they're sitting in jail detoxing. They don't realize what they've done until they're sitting in jail for the rest of their life, and they start to detox after they've done it. But will the OGs in Memphis step in to stop the war that is brewing? Because we see that there is a war that is definitely brewing, right? And I keep getting emails about, Little Migos and that they put a hit out on CEO Jizzle, and that they put a hit out on Kenny Money. I see Kenny Money on tour. I see Kenny Money having more fun than he has had, right? Kenny Money was one of those young men that was on pre that when young Dolph was first assassinated, I didn't hear about him for a very long time. Now he kept going, he kept on his grind. People are starting to call his names, know his name, call his name. He's on tour with Keek Lock, and now all of a sudden we're hearing in the atmosphere that there is a bag on his head, and it's coming from the same camp. Okay, the same camp that we hear the bag came from on young Dolph's head. I think it's a damn shame before God. So now this is the opportunity for the OGs to stop anybody else from ruining their lives and being indicted with the rest of them that's going to be indicted real soon. Lil Migos is a young man, okay? If people truly care about him, they need to talk to him, right? They need to talk to him, right? Because I don't understand, like as I was saying before, again, why people think that it is okay to take somebody's life just because they are mad. Okay, like I said, that is against the law, consistently destroying our community. And here's the thing, I don't really have anything against Lil Migos. I can't have nothing against a child. I just know that Lil Migos couldn't have any good guidance around him, right? Because when people truly care about you, they sure don't egg on nothing, right? They don't egg on anything, especially violence. That is the ultimate. Because when you take somebody's life, that is the very ultimate thing, right? That you could do. Like I said, I see CEO Jizzle and he on his grind, and most rappers talk shit. If CEO Jizzle getting on his mic and he dissing somebody, it wouldn't be the first time that a rapper was dissed. Hell, that's what rappers do. They diss each other. So what is supposed to happen is Lil Migos supposed to go get right back on the mic and diss him, and they supposed to make money. But they can't do that because they got a bunch of elders in the background in their ear saying, yeah, wanting a position. Yeah, we're gonna get him back, instead of the elders saying, even the little high-head dudes around them that's hoping to get some favor in a position. Now, dude, we can't do that in our camp. We going up, and we already know the feds got their eyes on us. So we can't go up if y'all consistently doing stuff like this. Y'all can't bring us down. Okay. If Lil Migos want to get his lick back, hey, it's a way for them. They can fight, right? But taking somebody's life, you know what I mean? That just can't keep happening. It just can't happen, right? And so with the summer coming in, like we saw all of this stuff going on, like the craziness in the winter. And it normally gets bad in the summer. And like I said, this is the opportunity for the OGs to dead this stuff right now, because they can dead it. These little dudes listen to these OGs. They listen to them because they want to be in the good graces of them. They want to be around them. If you know these little dudes looking up to you, why don't you speak some life into them? Right? I don't care if Migos is the one that's making money. He needs to be around somebody that's going to speak life into him, right? Because talking about hitting somebody, That's speaking death on him, on his life and his future, one way or the other, right? Because, like I said, you talk about either retaliatory situations or that's speaking death on him. Because if the feds get you, that's life, and that's surely sitting in a federal prison for the rest of your life. That is death, anyways. That is death of all of that life, right? So I think it's time for the OGs to step in and just dead this stuff because, like I said, a lot of these dudes do look up to them. It's time for them to be righteous. And I can't get on here and fuss like I normally do because I don't really have the energy to, but I wanted to go at this another way, a different way, because like I said, I see Kenny Money doing his thing. Everybody talks shit. I tell you, it's looking bad for a group of people to feel like that they can put a hit on somebody. Okay. Every time they get mad, okay, it's looking real bad. Okay. Because see, we know young Dolph popped his collar, right? And so the word on the street is that there was a bag put on his head because he popped his collar. We see Kenny Money popping his collar. We hear that there's a bag on his head. We wonder who put that bag on his head. We see CEO Jizzle cute as a little button going up. Okay. And he definitely pop his collar. And so we're hearing that there's a bag on his head. We wonder where that's coming from because that's word on the streets. That's word in law enforcement, right? So it's time for the OGs to step in and stop this. Because when they go take these little dudes out, they're not only ruining these dudes' lives, they're ruining their very own lives because the folks is watching them. And they're going to, if they can't, they're going to, I hope they get them first. So they need to take that energy and redirect it, right? So that they can live and be prosperous, and whoever it is that they mad at can live and be prosperous. Teach them how you counteract a person is to go back and diss them or not pay them any attention, right? Because one thing for sure, a person don't argue by themselves. But the elders are not, the OGs are not teaching them that. They're really helping to destroy the Black community, and this stuff has got to stop. You know, I got to thinking about, Paper Route Wu and is it uh Paper Route Newski was shot, and somebody was had sent me an email saying that Paper Route Newski, I believe they said he may have to learn how to walk again or something like that. Paper Route Newski, I don't really know how old he is, but he looks to be in his early 20s. It bothers me so much about Paper Route Wu because Paper Route Wu got the type of sound to take him way national. Like Paper Route Wu has the sound. He's tall. He's dark. He's just got that edgy. The way he rap, it comes off naturally. He's just very very talented, right? So, it appears to me that he loves the streets. You know what I mean? But he's got that it factor. If and the sad thing about it is, when I heard that he had got grazed or something like that, they had shot at him or something like that. A lot of times people can see that you're that it factor, right? Which is why we see that with Key. Really, all of them are. We see Key Glock is up front. He's the it factor. Dolph was the it. All of them are. Snoop Bands. But a lot of times people can see when you have like you're that it factor and you just got it. And a lot of times they could see that on you before you can even see it on you, and they'll try to take you up out of here because they know that, and they realize that if you ever get a foothold, you ever really realize that and get a foothold, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they'll try to destroy you before you arrive, right? That's how the enemy is. They study you more than you study yourself. And so we don't know what happened with that. When those young dudes were shot up in Castelia. I'm talking about Paper Route Newski, and I'm hearing that Wu was with him. But y'all, this stuff has got to stop. We can only imagine that people are looking for retaliation, but there are rumors all over social media of where it came from and what could have happened. But this stuff got to stop. That's why I say the OGs got to step in and dead this, right? The OGs got to step in and dead this hell. If somebody at the police department can tell me the direction that it came from, what do y'all think is getting ready to happen real soon, right? So the OGs need to step in and stop this stuff. But I'm happy because a lot of these OGs feel like that they could just pay these young dudes to go out and and um and just take these people outright. And so I'm happy, I've been happy when I heard, because the thing about it is Tennessee have their own FBI branch, right? Memphis has the TBI, and Memphis has a branch of the TBI, and Memphis has their own FBI. But I knew that it was something serious when I heard that they had other federal entities coming in that is not a part of the Memphis branch, to handle this young Dolph situation and the gang war that is going on within. That's the reason why I say I'm happy that they're draining the swamp, because everybody already know these OGs ain't right. They sitting up paying these young dudes and taking advantage of them already being mentally unstable and imbalanced to go out and do these hits and messing their lives up. And God ain't pleased with that. So what they need to do at this point, before anybody else's life get messed up, is step in and dead this, because I can promise you they're going after the money. And that's a beautiful thing, right? Because people are when people come from poor conditions, right? It's easy for me to say that I wouldn't do anything for money, and I wouldn't. I never have, right? But I got my own money, right? But a lot of these, and I know how to go make money. So, but a lot of these little dudes, right? They come from nothing. They come from broken homes where they've already suffered. And a manipulative person, hell, I'm not manipulative, but I know when a person has been through hell by talking to them for the first 5 minutes. I know that they've gone through hell. I can already tell just about how they think and everything else, because I pay close attention to people. I read them very well. Okay. So when these OGs are out in the street, it's unfortunate that they are looking for somebody that is already broken to destroy their lives, because they don't give a damn about nobody but themselves. That's why I say this stuff has got to stop. Will these OGs in Memphis stop this deadly war that's brewing? Because we already know that there is a war brewing. And I promise you, it ain't gonna be no resolve by thinking somebody gonna take out CEO Jizzle and Kenny Money. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Let whoever y'all trying to put up to do this stay out and live a prosperous life. And stop sending other folks' children to federal prison for life or to the chair, because I had been putting that into the atmosphere that these people was working on sending these young dudes to the chair. That's why I say it is time for these, and I'm talking about the damn electric chair. And young dudes, don't let them fool y'all by saying it ain't Tennessee don't even have the electric chair. You better read your laws. Okay. So it's time for these OGs to step in and stop this. Step in and stop this and dead this, and tell them to get their mind on the main thing. Tell them the main thing is to keep the main thing, and that is to make money. You get into rap to make money, okay? Not to be consistently making bond, making enemies, making funeral arrangements. You get into it to make money. That's it, okay? That's it. That's all. All right. I was listening to. I'm gonna get off of here, but I was listening to. I was looking at another rapper's page, and I believe it was Big 30's page, and I was looking at a little rapper, because I used to like Big 30's music. A little rapper that was on there that was saying, or somebody that was on his page that was saying, I'll do something. He was basically saying that, he'll go in about him, right? Because he know that he gonna get him a lawyer and make bond money. And I know whoever that little dude was had to have been young, okay, because he looked like he might have been in his 20s, I believe. What these little dudes don't understand is, yeah, somebody can get you a lawyer, but you still got to have a trial. Your lawyer don't determine if you're gonna get a bond, because the judge can decide you ain't gonna get one if it's heinous enough. Big 30 ain't got no long money. He might be getting money, but it ain't long. What if the judge set that bond for about $4 million? You think Big 30 them gonna pay that? No, I don't blame him. I wouldn't pay it either. If it's gonna put him in a position where he in a tight and can't take care of his children. And that's what these young dudes don't understand. You're talking about bond money. It ain't no. You're talking about what lawyer money. Well, the lawyers is there to make money. I ain't mad at no lawyers. Okay, they doing what they are supposed to do, and that is make money. But they gonna tell you they gonna get you off, but them lawyers know that they can't get you off, and that's what these young dudes don't understand. So now you don't. They might get you a lawyer, but now you done been convicted and you gone upstate for the rest of your life. So all of this other rah-rah stuff, what did it prove? It proves nothing at all, right? So that's why I say it's time for these OGs to start stepping in, and these fathers need to get back into their sons' lives, because we understand now that these OGs don't give a damn about these little dudes. They sending them out to do their dirty work because they ain't got no fathers in the house. So these fathers need to stop being ain't shit and get back into their children's lives and guide them right and be a strong figure to them, right? This stuff has got to stop. These OGs need to step in, okay, and stop this war that is brewing, okay? That's what they got to do, okay? But anyways, I went on longer than I had wanted to go on, child. I know, people be getting mad at me when I get on here, and I'm actually kind of mellowed out because I haven't really been feeling good. I kind of been chilling because once again, I haven't been feeling good today. But I haven't been feeling good for the last few days, really. But I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. But I just had to get on here and talk my stuff as it relates to that. But I decided to take another approach because this stuff has got to change, y'all. I don't want to see these young black males going to federal prison for the rest of their lives, because that's what's getting ready to happen. And it's not going to be that the person that's got the money going to be able to hide behind the other little dudes that they sending out. That ain't going to happen, because they're targeting the money maker. The money makers have been targeted, and that's who they're going after. You're not going to be able to continue to pay these little dudes to go out and be crash dummies, because they're already mentally messed up, their brains fried, because they've been on this Ritalin, and then they get off of the Ritalin and get on the fentanyl. Okay. And these OGs or whoever it is that's got some money is taking advantage of that. The FBI is targeting them. So they may as well leave CEO Jizzle and Kenny Money them alone. Okay. Let these folks be great. And whoever has an issue with it. See, the problem is a lot of these OGs is jealous of these little dudes. Okay. They're jealous of people like Lil Migos and CEO Jizzle and Kenny Money them. They want them to crash out, because they dating came and went. So they want them to do the ultimate, what they know is going to bring the feds in, and that's murder. Okay. So they want them to do this. They feel like if they're in jail, if they're out of the way, if the feds is draining all of their money, they'll get 15 more minutes. Okay. They'll be able to get the young girls. Okay. And the young girls still ain't going to want them for nothing but their damn money with their old asses. Okay. But they feel like that the young dudes that's making the money, the young girls would prefer them instead of them getting their old asses for their money. So they want these dudes to crash out. All the young dudes dare to crash out. We can pay the young gals for whatever. We could pay them to have our way with the young gals. They choosing the young dudes with the money. That's what's going on with a lot of these OGs. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. It's a damn shame before God to be an old fool. Low down, evil. Lord have mercy, because my head is hurting. I don't want to get started, because see, I'll go in on these OGs because they wrong. Okay, they wrong. Okay, but these OGs need to step in and dead this war ASAP, and I mean it. The old ignorant asses need to step in and dead it immediately, because they see that it's brewing. Okay. If I was a woman, and I was raised up around street dudes. Okay. I was raised up around street dudes because my cousins are hardcore street dudes. I've dated, I grew up in the hood, so that's what I've mainly dated. Okay, but they were good dudes. Just because they're street dudes don't mean they bad. But it ain't nowhere in the world, because I never did, that I could be somebody's woman and sit up and listen to them, put that into the atmosphere. Because these dudes pillow talk. I know it. I dated street dudes. And not say, nigga, you is wrong and you need to correct it. Okay? These women gonna have to start using whatever influence they got, because this stuff ain't right, instead of going along with it, okay, just so that they can get their nails done. This stuff ain't right, okay? But anyways, you guys, I want you to please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. And I already know this is going to bring a lot of comments where folks sit up and say, well, I can't, the women, well, I date a street dude and I can't tell him what to do. If you scared of him, you don't need to be with him, okay? Because if I can't tell him, nigga, motherfucker, you is wrong, and you need to correct that, I can't be with him because I talks my shit. Okay. And guess what? If he like you well enough, he gonna listen to you. Okay. That's the secret, ladies. Okay. If he like you enough, he'll listen to you. Okay. But anyways, you guys, let me get off of here. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. My head is hurting me. I'll talk with you guys later.